When you look at me, what do you see? Is it a criminal, a border hopper, an illegal immigrant? You may not know who I am, which will lead to some assumptions, but that ends today. Kimberly Crenshaw's concept of intersectionality explains how identities such as race, class, gender, and language overlap to shape a person's experiences. Peggy McIntosh's work on privilege further explains unearned advantages, which are benefits someone receives because society treats one of their identities more favorably. Together, these ideas help me understand both the assumptions people make about me and the advantages I may not always take into consideration. Today, I'd like to discuss my intersectional identity with you. Specifically, I will discuss 3 parts of my intersectional identity. First, my co-cultures. Second, the disadvantages connected to those identities. And finally, the advantages connected to those identities. So what is my intersectionality? I identify as a straight working class Latino American, young adult Christian, bilingual, able-bodied male, PCC marketing student, and aspiring musician. Disadvantages are common throughout everyone, but some are a little more prominent. Being a young Latin American man often feels more like a nuisance than an advantage. People sometimes judge me before they get to know me. Some people put Latinos into stereotypes, which include being undocumented immigrants looking to create crime and infest the street like roaches. But that is all but the truth. I can recall a time when I went to my friend's high school graduation ceremony in Newport Beach. I felt insecure as I wasn't surrounded by those who looked like me. It was early June of 2022. I was walking by the school's tennis courts when I heard a staff member say, "Look at that thug." I was shocked, as I did everything in my power that day to avoid being called any negative names. I dressed nicely, I had my hair done, and I put on a smile. To be called a thug by a staff member after just recently graduating myself felt awful. We now enter the advantages in my intersectionality that help me in my day-to-day life. Some of the co-cultures I fall into have proven to be an advantage, which include being a young, bilingual, able-bodied male who is pursuing an education in marketing. Being a young, able-bodied male allows me to travel anywhere I'd like to. I can go to school, work, or even to go get food whenever I want. I can travel the night whenever I want without the fear of being assaulted or followed by anyone. Especially because I'm of medium build and fairly tall. Being bilingual is an advantage and a skill that was developed by growing up in a bilingual environment. I remember my boss coming in one day and asking if anyone knew how to speak Spanish. I volunteered and got to help a customer throughout their entire transaction while speaking Spanish. This ultimately showed me that my cultural background and language skills allowed me to contribute in ways that not everyone can. So today, I discussed my intersectional identity. First, I identified my co-cultures. Second, I explained disadvantages connected to those identities. And finally, I described the advantages connected to those identities. In the end, we're all different. Some of us share similar identities, but others do not. It's up to us to learn from each other instead of assuming. Love thy neighbor as thyself, which is stated in the King James Bible in Matthew chapter 22, verse 39. Before judging someone you don't know, remember that you are only seeing a fraction of who they truly are on the inside.